Greeting, traveler.
No time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adios! We're gonna be rich.
No time for games.
Inferno! Require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tavern Talk. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. It is Wednesday. We've got ourselves a fantastic show ahead of you. It's a brand new season, a lot of stuff to look forward to. And of course, yes, it's Wednesday, which means we can start breaking out the hump day jokes. I mean, if you guys got anything, feel free to share, but I'm good for now. But yes, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We've got ourselves a fun show. We're going to be talking about some of the exciting things that we've got ahead. I'll start by saying, of course, because we've got a new format coming up, we will not be talking about Wild this season. This season, we will be leaving Wild up to the Wild show. Obviously, myself in particular, I am not particularly familiar with Wild and was not contributing much to that subject. So I'm kind of glad, but I do obviously understand that Geranium and Fish had quite more to offer. Speaking of those two, we've got, of course, my special guest host that you always get to see on a regular basis. Starting off, the master of OPs, the man who is not a doctor, but is certainly part Fish. Say hello to Dr. Fish, everybody.
What's up? It is indeed a Wednesday, my dudes. So thank you for posting that in chat, Roadrunner. Yeah, I'm excited. Another season of Tavern Talk. Let's get at it. Mimi.
And of course, our second guest host, who I might start having to call Flower Boy, or at the very least Flower Man, because he is not technically a child. Say hello to Geranium Battle.
Thank you very much for welcoming me on this hump day. I don't even know if people still say that,
Oh
but
man.
If
Yes.
they don't, they have a problem. Honestly, you just like that's just not gonna work.
but yeah, I may be now in Wild. I may be playing in Wild now alongside, well, not directly alongside Dr. Fish, but in the same conference. But yeah, I do think there are more qualified people to to talk about it than I especially.
I mean, it's certainly interesting because Wild has been a very interesting series to talk about, knowing like some of the big names we've had compete in it. And obviously, we've got a fair number of players who don't really play in standard THL. They mainly only play in Wild. So there's definitely plenty to talk about with regards to Wild. But I guess that's also part of what creates the disconnect between the standard and Wild series. At least from my perspective, I would say.
Yeah, I can see that. And some of these Wild players are crossing over into standard more, so it's really cool to see that. So we are gonna do a slightly different change in the order of series, and I think that's a good a good breath of fresh air for just doing the same old Legacy Hero Pro Wild. So we're gonna swap two of the series around. We're gonna start off with Hero Series. This is our last Hero Standing weekly format.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I'll also say, because we've got a Jespine in the chat right now. He's actually one of my legacy players, and he's wondering what is the deal with Tavern Talk. So for those of you who are very new, what we're essentially going to do is we're going to pick a few matches from each of Hero, Legacy, and Pro series. Talk about what those matches entail, who's playing who, and give some predictions as far as who we think is going to win. Now, obviously, there's a lot that can go into predicting a series, and we do recognize the fact that one of the downsides to when our show takes place is the fact that a lot of players have not yet submitted their classes before, at the time we're doing the show and making our predictions. So a lot of the times it can be kind of just based on outside factors, not including what they've brought. So do keep that in mind when we are making these predictions. But essentially, this is a show meant to kind of just have fun, talk about some of the upcoming exciting matches and matches that we think deserve the most attention.
Yes,
All
and
right.
I do see in the chat, Jespine asked. Jespine is on my hero team, of course. Jespine
Because of course we
asked,
both have
what's
Jespine on
talk
one of
about
our
on Tavern
teams.
Talk? Sorry, I just wanted to make that joke. Okay.
All right.
No, it was unavoidable at this point. Let's be
Awesome.
real.
So,
Yeah.
we're gonna start off. I'm gonna let JR here lead us off with the first match of the season for Hero that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, boys. I promise I'm not gonna do that again tonight. That was very unlike me, I gotta say. Yeah, so we're gonna be starting off, like we said, with Hero Series. And I'm gonna be starting off with a pretty big one. I'm very excited by this because it is represented by two of my favorite captains in this series. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Geranium Battle, who is the captain for Snakes on a Campaign, which, gotta say, kick-ass team name.
Yeah.
I do like that. And this is a pretty nutty roster, I have to say. And of course, we got the lovely Based, and she has brought us back with bands, parentheses, make them dance. I do love that name.
Yeah.
But this is essentially, obviously, dabs on him with a slightly altered roster for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match was honestly too tempting not to pick, if I'm being honest, because like, it's funny because Fish had picked this one for me, but I was honestly going to pick this one if he didn't pick it for me.
Yeah.
Because I saw this match and I just went, Jesus is the talent in full display here. Because Snakes on a Campaign, in my opinion, both of these teams are kind of looking very similar in terms of composition. Because you've got two very solid 1 seeds in Based and Mr. Python. Two 2 seeds that could easily be in the 1 seed, that being Nails and Snake. Two 3 seeds that are absolutely overpowered for the 3, that being Jespine and Astral Frog. Two 4 seeds that are absolutely overpowered for the 4 seed, that being Dr. Bombdy and Seth. And then Duo Cat versus Judo Chop, who are not the most familiar of 5 seeds, but still pretty recognizable in their own rights. So I really like what's going on. And obviously, as we can see, Jess Bean already started off the week beating Astral Pog 3-1. And I can say this now since Jess Bean is in the chat. Jess Bean, I hope for the love of God you win your legacy match in the same exact fashion. I beg of you, please. Your captain loves you.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
No, your captain.
I didn't
loves
even
you.
realize he was going to
I'm
be
the
watching
captain.
tonight, which is the best part about all this.
And I just get to sit here and enjoy it.
Yes, you do. I mean, is there anything wrong with that, to be fair?
No. Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
This captain loves you more though. Please,
These
keep winning.
Geranium, I will fight you on this stream for this. I will go there.
Yeah, it's cool. I know, like, I've had experience with a few of these players being on either a team with them or just having interactions with them, and then just some of them are just
Yes,
reputation, like casting or whatever. I had Nail sub for me last season. He's great. Based is my legacy captain. So
Yeah.
like she's amazing, and
I mean,
Python's
Base
someone
is
that
an
I can
incredible talent.
Yeah.
She is arguably one of the most improved players from THL in recent memory, having gone up from the 3 seed to the 1 seed in spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
Nails being in the 2 seed feels absolutely ridiculous to me, though. Like,
yeah, I think
that's
Nails
just
played one season of Hero, and I don't think he did like particularly amazing, so he ended up below 550 by the end of it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see Snake playing another season. I know he's primarily been an F2L Pro player, but it looks like he has experience in Hero. Maybe he probably played on F2L Black potentially in the past.
Not in the Hero team, no.
Okay. He's been on their pro team.
No, so like if I remember correctly, before he came back to Hero, he had basically his main focus was captaining the F2L Pro team, but he hadn't done that much in terms of playing Legacy and Hero for a while. If I remember correctly, he played Hero at one point, but I don't think it was for F2L because F2L didn't make their Hero team until after he kind of took his hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snake was on Inferno THL.
He was on
season,
Inferno.
And he was in the
That's
1.
right.
That's right. He
so
did
now
play on
he's
Inferno.
in the 2.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he went 4-7 in the 1 last season, and now he is in the 2. And he's facing another person who should be in the 1. Actually, I don't even know how much I don't even know how much I should say this, but I was originally looking at how the PR shook out and just sort of comparing people on lists and stuff like that, and I saw Nails almost fit exactly within my PR, but he was less than one PR above 1850 if I added him on. So now I get to sort of see how the different realities would have worked out because Snake versus cool. Nails this week.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see Duo Cat play in THL. I see. I don't know if he's played before. I'm not too familiar with everybody's history. I know Judo Chop's fairly new. He subbed last season. It's good to see like these players coming in and trying out Hero Series. I think this is a close match, even though it's 3-1 right now. Even though it's 4-1 for Snakes.
I can't see this being one-sided in any way, shape, or form. I don't think there's any rationalization for going anywhere differently, because regardless of how confident you might think one player is going to win, I feel like any pick I make could easily go the other way. Especially with the pick of like Jess Bean and Astrofrog, I would not have been surprised if either of these players won. I felt like that one was arguably one of the closest matches out there. So
yeah,
I mean, this is I wanted to pick this partially because it's a genuinely tough match to call for all of the right reasons.
Yeah, I wanted to spotlight I wanted to spotlight like 2 of the newer builds, because like this team holds 3 new, it does like bans is 3 of the same members with 2 new members. So it's gonna be so I think like last season they had.
I forget who was their 5 seed last season.
Well,
I know
Diamond and Buse both split time in the 5.
Yes, yes.
So
That's right.
Doohan was on the team. Doohan took a sub, and Diamond came in and finished out the season for that
That's right.
team. But so they're returning. Seth and Astral are 1 seed lower, which is really good because like it gives Seth a chance to play down in the 4. And I think he's
And
gonna.
they
I
played
think he's
really
gonna
well,
do.
to be fair. They
Yeah,
had
he
a really
did.
strong season.
Yeah, there's a
But it's
lot
like
of
this
good
this is not
reseeds.
something that's going to hurt them,
No,
obviously.
I
That's
think
the
this is
thing.
I think this is great. I think this new team is
But you could make a
really
similar
great.
argument for Snakes on a Campaign where
Yeah.
Dr. Bombi moves
Dr.
from
Bomb.
the 3 to the
Yeah,
4.
BOMD
And
is a
I'm just
4,
like,
yeah.
that is stupid.
I mean,
Yeah,
Geranium
I asked,
Geranium took 2 out of the players from Ask HS and said, "Hey, I'm on my team." Yeah.
Which I find funny because the funny thing was Mr. Python and Dr. Bomdi, they first started playing together when I picked Python up for my pro team.
Yeah.
And I didn't even pick him and Bomdi up for the same season,
Mhm.
but they've basically been inseparable since then. And
Yeah,
I
that's
find that
good.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean,
like the good kind of hilarious
if
because
you've got that
they're
team
they're both
chemistry, yeah.
really strong players, and it's funny to me that they've basically become a package deal in a sense.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Like, I can't remember the last time I've seen them play in a standard series and not be on the same team. They're just killing it together.
Yeah, and even in Legacy, like
I think
BOMD
standard
just
THL
captains.
Degenerates, I'm trying to remember, did Bombi play or
No,
did he just captain?
he's just captaining.
No.
Even this season, yeah.
Right, but even then, they're still together at that point. It's
Exactly.
like these two are a pair, and I love it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Like,
yeah.
but without dragging this out too much, if I had to give my predictions, I'm gonna go with the following. I'm gonna say Mr. Python with the slightest edge over based. Nails with the slightest of edges over Snake. Jespine obviously already won over Astro Frog, but I'll be honest, he's my legacy teammate, so naturally I was gonna bet on him anyway, even though I love Astropog with all of my heart. He knows that already. Dr. Bomdi over Seth because it's, I got to go with my boys here. And then I'd say Duo Cat over Judo Chop to keep it close of a 3-2 Snakes on a Campaign.
Nice.
But like I've said, this could go either way so easily.
Mhm.
I'm excited for seeing how this is going to play out. Matches like these are why I'm a little sad that we don't talk about the prior week's matches, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if you want that, we do have Heart Center the night before, so they cover all of the previous week's stuff. But yeah, I do miss doing that as well for myself. So this I'm gonna reserve giving predictions on this just in this just for time. So we've got our next match, which Geranium has picked.
Well.
Did you want to predict? I'm sorry.
I very very quickly have said about Mr. Python is I do want to note that he was the MVP for Hero last season, but he was the MVP from the 2 seed. So now going up to the 1 seed, is he still going to be the MVP? He sort of has to work a little bit harder for it, and I think he will. I think he will do it.
Last time he played in the 1, he went undefeated, or maybe had 1 loss. Man does not lose in Hero. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy that Neji Boston was above him last season. That it was even possible he was in the 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, on to this next match, of course. And I just have to highlight the team that I think is going to absolutely wreck Hero. I mean, I love my own team, but at Diamond, it just looks stacked up and down the whole way. We've got Lotus Knight in the 1, Justin in the 2, Mick in the 3, Diamond in the 4, and we've got Roofski in the 5. Now, I've played with Justin and Roofski in Legacy, and they are absolutely insane. And Justin should not be in the 2. There's no possible reason Justin should be in the 2. But
I mean, you could say the same thing about Lotus Knight, and he was in the 2 last season.
Yeah. But now, just the reason why I'm bringing up this match is because they're up against such great competition. Though all of Hero is stacked, and F2L Black is no different. We've got Neji in the 1, Itachi in the 2, Rebobson in the 3, Nice Jewish Owl in the 4, and Dr. Fish goes in the 5. And Absolutely. Like Itachi last season didn't do as well as we sort of expected for him to do. But
Yeah.
I think he's going to make a resurgence, especially if he's moving down to the 3 right now, which it looks like based on this PR change he is. Uh,
Hmm.
like the fact that Justin beat Itachi 3-2 close set, Mick losing to Bobson 2-3 close set, it just shows just how powerful the 2 and 3 on each team are. And then Neji does not lose, unless maybe against Lotus Knight. So,
Neji.
oh man,
Well, this is
uh,
Neji's looking for a bounce back season. Because he went 5-6 last season in Hero. He doesn't lose in Legacy though. Or
Right.
Wild.
Yeah.
Or or he doesn't lose at anything except for he had a rough Hero season last season. But I believe he'll definitely do a lot better this season. He isn't going up against any easier competition, and it starts with his former Legacy teammate Lotus Knight. But he's my boy, so I always think he's gonna do really well.
yeah.
I mean, it's understandable.
We do see both the matches in the 2 and 3. I think that prediction-wise, Owl is just way too powerful for the 4. I'm sorry, Diamond.
Mhm.
I would usually back you against most of the 4 seeds in Hero right now, but against Owl, I just don't think it's going to happen.
Mhm.
And then Ruski versus Dr. Fish. I'm very sorry, Dr. Fish,
Yeah.
but I've played with Ruski, and
I know.
he is so cracked.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta prepare for sure.
Oh, I will. When I messaged him, I was like, "Oh, I get to play."
I'm not. I'm
I
still
was
betting
like-
Feach. I don't know what
I
you're
was
talking
like,
about.
I was like, "Oh, hello! I'm excited to play such a good player this week." Because I know, because obviously knowing some of the other Northeastern people, and Tonk, that Drewski's a really good player. So I expect a really good match, and I do expect it to be close. Because I have a lot of confidence in my play. At the end of last season really made me think that like I can definitely do well in Hero Series. So we're gonna do it this season. My picks are biased.
Are
So
you sure?
yeah, I'd pick. You look at it. I'm gonna pick the rest of my team, and I have to have confidence in myself. So I will.
Sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. 4-1. But
Are you really sure?
yeah,
Wow.
I am. All right, so it's close though. Like Neji versus Lotus is a close match.
I'll be honest.
Lotus is
this one,
Lotus is
like,
an insane hero player.
I'll be honest. The only match I really want to comment on, as far as the outcome, is you beating Ruski. Neji versus Lotus Knight. It's like Lotus is my boy, and you guys know how much I love Neji to pieces.
Mhm.
So it's like I would love for that match to be a draw, so I don't have to see either of them lose. Honest,
Yeah.
I don't say that often. Usually I say I don't want to pick a winner. This is the one of the first times where I've genuinely so badly want a draw so that neither of them lose.
Mhm.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Justin versus Itachi would have kind of been like similar, but more like it would have been too hard to call. And I'm kind of glad that match went into 5 games, because like that was like that's how it should be with those two. Like ever so close, despite the PR difference.
Yeah. Itachi, like I feel Itachi's gonna have a very good season, and he starts out against a very good opponent in Justin, and I looked at the replays, and it was so back and forth. So I expect because they played on Monday, by the way. They played like Monday at night. Like it was super fast that they played. So I'm excited. Like it's on such little like time to prepare, essentially, from when the season started.
Yeah.
They played
And then Nice Jujal versus Diamond. It's like,
that's a good one.
I love both of these guys to pieces. I can't. Like I've decided, like, I don't want to bet against Diamond because I've learned the hard way, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to bet against Nice Jewish Owl either, because he's in the 4 seed and that's stupid.
Yeah.
So how does one reconcile that? I have no idea. I don't know.
Say Owl wins.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Sorry.
What?
You just say Owl wins. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Owl's
also, by
because
the way,
Diamond's my boy. Diamond's my
I wa-
boy, though.
No, Diamond's my boy too.
Also,
but...
I want to point out though that we have Rice Bowl subbing with Twitch Prime in the chat.
Yes,
With primers in this chat.
Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub, Rice Bowl. Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, I think we've said a lot about this match, and I'm someone who's playing it. I'm excited. The rest of the matches have to wait until the weekend, but the results are gonna come in fast
Man,
once
nothing
they
wrong
start.
with that, man.
Yeah, no, Neji and I play at the exact same time, so there'll be 2 results pretty much in a row. And then Milo plays on Sunday, so exciting. So we have one more match.
One more hero match.
So in the match, and this is my pick. My pick is Dad Legend versus Bolner Jams 03. So this is Donde's.
Which for the record was the wrong
Oh.
pick because my hero team is the only team of the host teams not being covered in the circuit. I'm just
I
Let's go.
yes, I am that petty for the record.
yeah.
It's okay. You got covered so much last season.
Yeah,
and I got
I really
covered barely
enjoyed-
at all. So this is just a
I mean,
little.
it is
worthwhile.
It is true. I did pick
In
a
my
lot of.
defense, Tampams deserved the coverage, as did IDK. This
Mhm.
season, I'm just saying. I guess I
Well,
bring
Geranium
it up
was
because I know
also-
we're not
you were
gonna
only
get as
on
much
one team.
coverage, but we'll see.
Anyways,
Yeah.
anyways.
We took advantage of that, though.
So yeah, we've got Dad Legend versus Bolner Jams, which is Donde's team. You know, it's essentially the same team. They do have one new member. For Dad Legend, it's Isocles in the 1, Starlax in the 2, Korra Dad or Korra Den in the 3, Yellow Dart in the 4, and Risen
I
in
will
the
only
5.
refer to him as Koro Dad.
And then Bolner Jams is Ron Mexico in the 1, my boy, the Big Ted in the 2, Donde in the 3, and Fall in the 4, and Quaz in the 5. So Quaz is the new 5 seed. Roadrunner is not on the team. So Quaz moves over from No Pros here, where he played last season. Oh, Diamond, yeah, you just missed your team, Diamond. I'm very unfortunate. You'll have to have to go back a little bit in the VOD to catch
Wait,
it.
is Stu Ball Skittles?
I have no clue.
He's saying our pre-match prediction, and I'm like, wait, what?
Huh.
Oops.
Anyways,
Well, yeah,
okay.
double Z's at the
Diamond
end.
says yes. 2 balls is Skittles.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I tried to say we should be covered, but I guess not.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But yes, Diamond, you just missed your team being covered. I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah. I like
Make
this
up
match.
for it, though,
I think
Donde's gonna miss his team being covered.
I think I mean I picked this match. There's a couple reasons why. Number one, I anytime Isocles and Ron plays, I really like to talk about them playing each other because they have some of the best matches. Like it's usually like I think the last couple I've seen they've been like reverse sweeps, in some capacity. It's really funny. They have really interesting matches, and then Starlax, who's excuse me, very good, who's also good enough to hold his own in the 2, going against the Big Ted, who was just one of the big MVPs of this team. So if Ron, like, Donde did struggle in Hero last season. This team I believe they made semis, and got knocked out by, I forget if they got knocked out by Blast or by NPH. I think it was NPH.
I think it was NPH.
Yeah, it was
as well, 'cause I
NPH.
think
It was
they
very
were-
close. It came down to
Yeah.
Donde versus your mom
Came down-
Ked for like just point scraps. So yeah,
Where Rancor?
Yeah, where is Rancor, by the way? So yeah, these teams are familiar with each other. I don't think these are the exact same matches we got last year for the players, but Ron versus Isocles and Starlax, and some version of the other bottom 4 played each other besides Quaz. So it's close. I think like and I don't even think Quaz versus Risen is a given. I think like I
love Quaz.
like I'll lean
but
like I'll lean
Risen
like I
in the
will
5
lean
seed is stupid.
like I'll live
Like
I'll
that's
I'll
huge
lean
being
towards
in the
Risen.
5 seed right there.
Um,
What?
yeah, I mean you're right. Like, I mean I played Yellow Dart in the 5 last season. I think any one of these people on Dad Legend are capable of moving up to that 2, or capable of playing anywhere from 2 to 5, and like they're busted down in the 4 and 5, except for the fact that Yellow Dart's playing Anfall, who started really rough last season and then turned it completely around. I think he won like 7 out of his last 8 matches. So I expected both. I'm kind of looking at this as like 2 teams that are gonna contend for playoffs big time. So I'm excited to see all of these teams go. And JR, thank you for your prime sub, my friend.
I totally forgot it expired.
Yeah. So
Yeah, chat. You only have to spend about 10 seconds going and checking whether your Twitch Prime is expired. You just go down to the button right there, right below stream. Click it. See if that thing is still popping up purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I'll pick winners. I will pick Ron over Isocles. I will pick Ted over Starlax. Corridon over Donde. Anfall over Dart, and Risen over Quaz. That's 3-2 for Bolner Jam.
Yeah, I think that the strength sort of in Dad Legend is because all the people from 2 through 5 are all very similar. It means that their lower seeds are so strong. So I think that the Corridon versus Donde star-crossed lovers who usually play on the same team but are in this case fighting against each other. I think that that might swing Corridon's way. Sorry, Donde. But I think it is otherwise going to be a close 3-2. The top going to Bolner Jams, and the bottom going to Dad Legend.
Yeah. All right. Guess if JR, if you don't have, if you want your predictions on this one, and then we can move into Legacy.
Honestly, this one is tough because a lot of close matches, despite some of the PR discrepancies. I'm gonna say Ron takes the 1, Ted takes the 2. No, sorry, Starlax takes the 2, Donde takes the 3, Yellow Dart takes the 4, and then Risen takes the 5 for a 3-2 Dad Legend.
Nice. Like to see some difference in our predictions. I
mean, Ted versus Starlax.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go Starlax.
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna go Starlax because the PR is not reflective of his actual skill, and he's really good.
Starlax is really
yeah.
All right, so we're moving out of the LHS series hero into Legacy series, our closed deck list conquest format. We're starting off with a really good matchup. I say that not only as someone who's in this match, but someone who even if I was on the outside would be excited for these matchups. And that is JR's pick for Legacy. Or the match I picked.
Man, I got a lot to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, how was Amberflight Gaming's roster a thing?
Atachi.
How did this happen?
Atachi and I didn't play Legacy last season, so
it was a rhetorical question, Fish.
Yeah, I'm literally telling you why, because I know.
You're not supposed to. It's a rhetorical question. Jesus Christ! I mean,
Ron calculated.
I don't know what to say.
Well,
your 3 seed has 519 PR.
I mean, our team was legal even if Ron was 550. So.
Okay, you know what?
No. I know.
You're testing the patience of a lawyer here. You know that, right?
I understand that. Anyways.
No, look, I love Amberflight Gaming. I love this team to pieces. But it is hard to ignore the fact that this is easily the most ridiculous looking roster that they have ever had. And mind you,
Our last
All
roster
of
was
these players,
ridiculous.
except for Saku, are members of Team AFG.
Mhm.
That is something that needs to be noted. So this wasn't just a fluke. This was AFG saying, let's bring our best players together and wreck everybody.
Yeah.
If these guys don't make the playoffs this season at the very least, I am starting a revolution.
Yeah.
You know,
Also
it's,
remind me, which conference is this?
This is silver.
Fudge!
this is
We play
yeah.
all week 8, so you got time.
I
know,
but I don't
because one of your players is in our server.
Oh yeah,
so.
no, that's right. I was having this conversation with Bitbeaker. That's right. Yeah.
Bits our
Oh,
content.
God.
One of our content producers. All right.
I mean, if I have to play Ron, I'm hoping I can finally break my losing streak against him, but I'm not counting on it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then they're going up against not Justin, who is captained by Automated Button. Who I'm not convinced isn't a button and not an actual person per se.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty new team, as we've seen, because the only 2 players that are recognizable are Button himself and Jimbo.
Both of which were on the
everybody
same
else-
championship team.
Yeah.
Which, yes, very true. They were on Foolish Madmen. And of course, we've got the new players of Mr. Beluga 11, Pyro, and Ari in the 1, 4, and 5 seeds respectively. I feel like this team is one that, from a composition standpoint, looks pretty solid. But it's also obviously a bit hard to judge because you only know 2 of the players. But when 2 of those players are former champions and recent former champions at that,
Yeah.
I feel like that should give the team enough credibility to kind of assume they're going to be pretty successful. But obviously, this is an initial clash of titans, it feels like. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I have to bet on AFG in this case. It's hard not to. I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep, but it's hard for me to gauge who from not Justin is going to win besides in the 5 seed because, I mean, if I have to be fair, I'm sorry, Saku. You know I love you. But the easiest way for me to bet that Amberflight Gaming is going to lose at least 1 match is if I bet against
Wow. I would have bet against
Saku.
me.
I love...
I
mean, I want to bet against you too, but Saku has been like my sacrificial lamb of sorts. He knows that. He's like he's a solid player. Don't get me wrong, but I mean he's not Neji, Ron, or Itachi, or you.
Don't worry, Dr. Peach.
So-
I'm gonna sacrifice you in just a second.
Thank
okay?
you. Yeah. No, it feels good. Like, because I was talking.
That escalated.
No.
quickly.
I was talking to Geranium about this matchup because Pyro Pyro's a very good player and he has a lot of experience with Tespa and stuff like that. So he very clearly like puts the time in on standard ladder. Like, granted, I came in before I had really started grinding ladder. I started playing THL. Like I was just kind of playing, just getting to my D10, maybe hitting D5. Like and I came in lower, but no, I'm excited for this match. It's gonna be like I'm gonna abstain from picks here. I'll just let y'all do it. But I'm excited for my team.
Yeah. So JR, you've been hyping this up quite a lot for Amberflight Gaming, but I actually think not Justin's gonna win this one. So you only know 2 of the people on this team, but I know a bit more about Mr. Beluga and Pyro and Ari. All of these guys are from Northeastern. I'm from Northeastern. All of these guys have like run through the sort of Tespa gamut in Northeastern. Ari is relatively new, but Saku, it's gonna happen. Ari's gonna beat you. That's just it. Pyro is sort of like the captain of the Tespa team. And so I'm sorry, Dr. Fish, that's just it. That Pyro's going to beat you. So those are the bottom 2 seeds already figured out. Jimbo and an Automated Button, I think, are playing. They're like sort of 1/2 seed above what they probably should be. I know Button struggled a little bit in the 2 last season, but Ron struggled in the 1 last season, and Automated Button was switching between 2 and 1 all season as well. So I actually kind of think that Button could take that, but then there's Mr. Beluga in the 1, and Mr. Beluga is like right up there with Justin. I think that they are very similar in quality. So I know that Mr. Beluga is facing Neji Boston, but I don't even think it's that far off if Mr. Beluga could win this one. Okay, so that's my prediction. I think that Pyro and Ari are gonna win the 4 and the 5. I think Button's gonna win in the 2, and then I really want to see what Neji Boston versus Mr. Beluga cooks up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I plan. All I know is I plan on getting a head start in the BGH this season. So, just being a sub
try.
being a sub 200 PR4 seed will enter that very well.
I mean, it's definitely gonna be close for sure.
Yeah, I've been really putting, like, I don't know. I'm just confident in my play all around in all the formats, so I'm ready to have a really good season. Yeah, we're gonna move here from not Justin to Justin. So we have our next match. We have Geranium's pick.
Yeah, strangely enough, I know about not Justin and I know about Justin at the same time. It sort of means I know about everything all at once. But Team Justin right here has got Always Just in Time. It's got Gamer Dude. It's got Pokemon 661. It's got Wild Rose, and it's got Skirt Reynolds going down the line there. All of them have the first name Justin. Yeah, Skirt.
How is he?
Is right there.
How is he 50? Is it? Did he sub in?
I don't know.
Did he sub in Legacy at some point? Because I know he's a higher. I know he's a higher PR in Hero.
Yeah. When they said that his PR was 35 in Legacy, everyone was confused.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah, we'll just take it.
Yeah, but
I'm sure there's an.
I don't think that puts them over cap though. Honestly, regardless. So.
No, it would. If Skirt was his original PR, it would just barely put them over cap, I believe. But we're here now. We've got. Yeah. I mean, but on the other side, on Bluefish, we've got another person who has weird PR stuff relating around them. RoboCats in the 2.
Yeah.
Above RoboCats though is Hicket. Below is A2 Battleship and Dead Snoop and Judo Chop. Judo Chop's on my team in Hero, so I've been working with him quite a little bit. So I know the people on Team Justin. I've been working with them. I've been working with Judo Chop. Skirt Reynolds is absolutely Skirt Reynolds should probably be a 3 seed. So I'm very sorry, Judo. But I'm gonna go with Skirt on that one. And then the middle 3 seeds for Team Justin. Pokemon 661 subbed in Legacy once before and won it. Was an E-sub over Turtle. But he's up against A2 Battleship, which I think is actually quite a good matchup. I think that they are both very strong. I do think that Pokemon 661 will take it just barely. But then RoboCats versus Gamer Dude, I think, is going to favor RoboCats. I know he's had some trouble with how much time he's had available, whether he could actually play. But if he's here, if he's in this game, I think he is going to beat Gamer Dude. But then, as I said, Skirt is going to take the 5. Pokemon 661 is going to take the 3. Justin's in the 1. Justin's in the 1 versus Hicket. And I think Justin's going to take the 1.
Yeah.
And then we got Dead Snoop versus Wild Rose. Haven't seen Wild Rose's play directly, but I do think that is also going to be rather close when they do play it out.
Yeah. I'm like, so I think Justin versus Hicket will be on stream. I know that for a fact. I would favor Justin. I know Hickett's also a good player, but I think he's kind of struggled a little bit in
I
both
don't
of his
think so.
seasons. So I picked Justin in the 1, Robo in the 2. The return of A2. Battleship
Yeah.
has been on a few championship teams, and his most recent, I don't know if his last time making finals he came up short, but that was against Blood Bloomers against HSA in season 15 of Legacy. That was a real good team back then. And then I have seen Dead Snoop play on stream before. I have but I will give Wild Rose the edge, even though I don't really know much about them, and I think I will give it to Skirt down in the 5, because Skirt's really good. I have a lifetime 1 and 2 record against him. So but that's all in Hero. I'm excited to see how he plays Conquest. I'm sure he has Conquest experience though, so it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I like this match quite a bit for a number of reasons. I mean, again, A2 returning is great. Bluefish is going to be an interesting team to watch out for, in my opinion, because they're very much going the what I like to call the wet boys comp of having a pretty solid 1 to 4 roster, 1 to 4 lineup. With the 1 seed being solid, but not having the highest PR, necessarily being someone you would expect to see in the 1 seed, but who's very likely to hold their own. And then, of course, Team Justin, led by the legend himself, always just in time. I mean, dear God, it's going to be close. Much like with, it's funny because the not Justin is in the same boat of, 2 familiar faces and then 3 new players. So,
Yeah.
I don't know who you pick here, honestly.
Team Justin.
Very different composition.
I mean, I don't know the I don't know the any
you
you
played
guys.
with them last season. You played with Justin last season, Terranium. You're biased.
Yeah, and Pokemon 661. Yeah, I'm biased. Yeah.
But anyways, we got one more match left in the Legacy series, and then we'll go to our quick commercial break. I picked Standard THL Degenerates versus Seek Guidance. So this is essentially STD versus the MPH Legacy team. So we have STD, which is Python in the 1, Jester in the 2, Electric Sheep City in the 3, Coradin in the 4, or Coradad, as JR will refer to him, and we have Jerry Damage.
I will make this a thing.
And Jerry Damage making his THL return down in the 5.
Woo!
We've got, and then for Seek Guidance, well, Seek Guidance has a real good team. We got got Y the Hunter in the 1. We got Magnificent in the 2, returning Skittles coming back to NPH in the 3. We have Snake Falls in the 4 and Jolt C in the 5. So these teams are busted. So as Standard THL Degenerates losing, the only player or 2 players did not return. That's Quaz and Automated Button. But Button has been replaced with Jester, who was holding his own for Defies Brotherhood last season. He didn't quite get up to the 2 seed, but that's because Hockey Boys and Wild 9 were doing well for themselves. Or just didn't have enough PR for Jester to get up to the 2, but he's capable of playing the 2, probably even the 1. Sheep City coming back after a really great season did lose to Skittles 3-2 this week. And I'm excited to see this new iteration of MPH with Y the Hunter. They don't have Agent and no Glocko. They've had a very similar team. Posca is captaining but not playing this time around. And Snake Fods is sitting steady in the 4. They picked up their new 5C Jolt C, and Jolt C has done very well for himself. For the 2 seasons I believe he's played in THL. So I think this is a close match. Python versus Y the Hunter is extremely interesting. Python's one of the guys I just think will always win. But I know Y the Hunter is also like, he plays pro He's been on Sheepies. He's a really good player. It's gonna be cool to see him playing in a closed decklist format. I'd give the edge to Python for more closed decklist experience than Y the Hunter. Jester versus Magnificent. I love my boy Jester. I gotta go with him. We've seen that Skittles has already won. Snakefalls versus Corridon. Man, I think this is a close match. I will give the edge to Corridon. And then Jerry Damage versus Joltsy, I give to Joltsy. So I think it's gonna be a 3-2 for STD coming back this season, looking for that ring that they just missed out on last season. So, or the chip. So I'm gonna give him the win in week 1.
Yeah, I think that so I mean, Mr. Python against Y the Hunter. Mr. Python is definitely one of the people to beat in Legacy. Speaking of which, he has been beaten quite a few times last season on Legacy. It's just that you know, he is such a great player. Like him going, I believe it was something like 4-5 last season in Legacy was probably the reason why he just ever so barely lost to Neji Boston on the crossover play. And if he is wanting to get in the top of crossover, I think that is where he's going to improve. So here it starts. Mr. Python versus Y the Hunter, I think, is going to favor Mr. Python. However, I'm going to disagree with you and say that Magnificent is actually going to take it over Jester. Having seen Magnificent's play, it is already very, very strong. Whereas Jester, learns off of his own play over time, and I think he will improve over the course of the season. I just don't think he is quite there yet. And then, we saw 2 absolutely fantastic 3 seeds: Electric Sheep City and Skittles and Jester, all represented here, and Corridon. Honestly, all of them basically 3 seeds here. And the clash of the 3 seeds, we do see Skittles taking it over Electric Sheep City. Electric Sheep City was very dominant though last season, and Skittles was just was subbed in at the sort of the tail end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I think Magnificent is going to take it, I think it is going to be Magnificent, Skittles, and Joltsy who will win it for Seek Guidance this week. By the way, Seek Guidance. I know Posca even put out a message in the Discord saying that he had sort of run out of troll names. What's up with that? That's
I don't know.
I'm disappointed in Posca.
Yeah.
Well,
First of all, you're not allowed to be disappointed in Posca because he always delivers.
Posca's fantastic.
See,
And he's fantastic not just because he won his wild match 3-1 for my team. Big ups to him getting a nice win this week. I mean, Seek Guidance is cool. I mean, obviously that's the name of the priest quest line. So, taking their the run. At least somebody, I would hope somebody on their roster brings a Seek Guidance deck at least once this season. But we will never know because we will not see the decks unless it is played on stream. Or someone goes ahead and says, "Hey, we did that." But anyways, it's funny because last season we always had like 2 series, and then we had a nice, clean, even break to do our commercial. But this time, it's a little different. We're gonna go from Legacy into our break now. So let's hear a moment about the various things going on in THL.
Why, of course. Because I'm never ready. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tavern Talk. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to check out Around the Saloon and the Maniacal Tournament series on Mondays and Ronnie Tuesday on Heart Center on Sunday that you will never guess. Are you still asking, where's my content? Well, we stream THL matches each night from Thursday to Sunday starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. All being match goals will be determined by caster and player availability. Side effects may include knowledge and fun. But wait, that's not all. We also have incredible matches on weekend afternoons on school stuff, precise times and days are subject to availability. Speaking of which, please consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. This subscription enables the THL to help cover the various costs of operating a website and improve the quality of streams and content to our viewers. I see someone asking in our chat, what is Twitch Prime? There it is. Well, if you have Amazon Prime or Prime Gaming, you can sub to the channel for free. So hit that heart button, keep the notifications on to make sure you catch our team streams live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, please check out THL's other social media points of interest. The website is teamhearthlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord at Team Hearth Legends and the THL PW podcast. Wherever podcasts are sold, you can find most of these links down right below the stream, actually, in that tiny little box there.
Well, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. You know what to do if you have any way you want to support. You can just follow in and keep those notifications on. But we're gonna move on from our closed decklist series to our open decklist series, and that is Pro, which is open decklist conquest format. So we're gonna start with our first Pro match, and oh boy, are we starting off with a good one. JR, talk to me about this one. Got For the Clowns and Hype Horizon.
For the record, love that name for the Clowns.
Yeah.
This match is. I mean, can't we all agree this match is the epitome of hype?
Yes.
I mean, you've got the reigning champions of Hype. Or sorry, Hype Horizon are the reigning champions, right?
No, it was Shedding.
No. They were champions, I think, like
the runner-ups.
2 seasons ago.
Sorry. They were the semifinalists.
Oh no, they were the runner-ups. They lost to.
Sorry, runner-up. God dang it, I'm terrible.
You're okay, sir. You are quite okay.
Jared, did you watch? Bro?
I was paying attention.
Yeah.
I was following that last season. What the heck? Anywho, so For the Clowns, this is an interesting, culmination of teams because you've got obviously Nails and Neji of the original Clowns, and then now you've got German Chef from For the Boys, Super Chicken from
For the Boys. Yeah, he was on For the Boys
as well, right?
Yeah,
Pascoa, I feel like has played before, but I am blanking on where I've seen.
So Pascoa is this season with Kalos Luna becoming a GM. Kalos Luna decided to step away from doing THL. So now we have Pascoa coming in, who is arguably just as good and has more tournament experience than Kalos Luna, but both great, excellent players. Pascoa was very close to becoming a America's GM themselves. They have participated in most of the Masters tours for the last season. He's a single win away from GM and has been playing in the pro scene for years. Yeah, Neji knows him. Yep. I trust this pickup. This is an insane pickup. I didn't think this team could get any bit better, but I would say that they've gotten a little better. Just because I know how good Kalos Luna also is. They're going up against the same roster that we've always had for Hype Horizon: Ox, Banter, Gamer, RVG, Cool Kid, and D Money. So yeah.
These two teams are going to be in the semifinals for this season, and they're also meeting here. Whether they meet in the semifinals, whether they're on opposite sides, we don't know. But this is, we already know this is going to be a absolute slobber knocker.
Hype. So much hype.
Yeah. I don't have any results or classes, or at least not when I took the screenshot. But dang. Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, when I heard about this team before the team reveal, I was like, all right, yeah. You just become the favorite essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fair though.
And Hype Horizon, well known for rolling over their deck lists, also legitimately just rolled over their team. They sent one message. They sent one message. Can we run the same thing? And then they said yes, and here they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who are you to argue with that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It has results.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, German Chef and Super Chicken did not perform as well as when they were on For the Boys, when they were subbing in last season. But now they've had some time to sort of work together a bit more, and they can continue to really work really well together. And I think this season will be a bit different. I think this season they will get to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably their biggest regular season test. Like, there are other extremely good teams in the conference, and we will be talking about, I believe, one other match from that conference. That'll be the next one we talk about. But there's a lot of good teams, and I believe all these teams are in the Black Conference together. So
I wouldn't know offhand, but I think
I believe
right.
so.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I picked one pink.
yeah.
I picked a pink conference match, but you guys both got Black Conference matches. So I'm excited to see like For the Clowns and Hyperize, but also like Brushy Tuna and Faction. Both teams that we'll definitely be mentioning throughout the season. Those two.
The team, not the player, right?
Well, I mean, Brushy Tuna is playing BG, but he's not playing anything else. So unfortunately, we won't be covering about like I don't know. I don't think the three of us know that much about BGs, so it would be pretty awkward to have us try and discuss it. But yeah, I think this is a really good match, and I mean, I think I'll say Shep wins. I love Nails, but he's going up against America's GM McBannerface, so that's gonna be very close. And I'll say Banter takes it. Neji over Gamer RVG, Pascoa over Cool Kid. And it all depends on what day Super Chicken and D Money play. What the result could be. So I don't know. It's I think that's also a toss up. So yeah, I think it's gonna be 3-2 or probably 3-2 or 4-1. It just depends, but they're all gonna be close matches. And Neji says Nails swept Banter in playoffs last season. True, he did indeed do that. So, and I feel like both players have a really good feel for the meta right now. So it's gonna be a slugfest. Points are gonna be close, but matches I think goes to Clowns.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm going to give basically no predictions on this. I mean, it's everyone is such high quality on both sides that I'm going to get it wrong no matter what I predict. So,
right.
I suppose. Maybe have a little bit more faith in yourself, right?
okay, sure. I'll get around half of it correct if I just say For the Clowns sweeps. So sure, I'll just say that.
There we go. That's the spirit.
We'll take it. The hot takes on week one. We love to see it. Yeah. We have next match, same conference, two great teams. We've got Geranium's pick.
Oh yeah. And Lolnenko in chat was asking if he missed NPH. No, you did not. NPH is right here. We got Bread Ape versus NPH. Bread Ape, of course, the successor to Shed Ape, the beloved THL team.
Yes.
Bread Ape, of course, sort of just coming back with their already championship team. The WashU players and CMAC are here. And then on No Pros here, we've got sort of the old standbys, Agent PWE for MPH, XKume, Lolnenko, Kaz. I don't remember seeing Kaz. I think they're a bit newer to it, but then also, of course, your Mumked. All extreme standout players for the NPH team. Yes. So going into what I sort of expected, I mean, so we already see CMAC losing to Agent PWE and Valdis beating Kaz. Not even sure whether it's supposed to be exactly said like Quaz. It might be Quaz alt at this point.
Yeah,
that's going to be a recurring joke for a while.
Yeah. So Nenko just pointed out in chat that this is their first This is their first constructed series. They've only played Battlegrounds to this point. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and
Nenko and I had Nenko crushed me in Octathlon. Last
Thank
season.
you for that information, Lolnenko. I will predict that you will lose now because of that. Uh,
Ba-dum-bum.
Nah, he won
I mean,
this.
you're up against
He
great
won the
competition.
conquest tournament, so beating Ron in the finals.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I actually did mess up, by the way. It is Avi as well
yeah,
has switched in for
MMW, our Maniac Monday winner.
MMW. Yeah,
Gonna miss him.
make merch washable.
Yeah.
But Avi is has proven himself to be extremely competent as well. He's even basically won entire series when not playing Hearthstone in the past. So uh,
That is
I don't think he's going to have.
unfortunately true, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, hero last season.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have much trouble against your mom kid here. Heat Shock versus XQMA though in the one is going to be very close.
Yes. I definitely think this will be close. Man. I think I'm gonna give it to XQMA in the 1, Ufric in the 2, and man, Avi versus Ked. That's actually really close. Call. So I will give it to Avi. But I will not be surprised if your bum kid wins. So it'll be close, 3-2. I'm gonna pick Bread Ape to win it. And I think that both of these teams are gonna be competing very strong this season. Oh, I think that Nanko versus Ufric is close. It definitely. I just think Ufric's a very, very, very good player. Yeah, Roadrunner, you did miss Legacy. We did it before the break. Unfortunately.
Yeah. You were there before the break, and then.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, there is always a VOD. You can watch it back on YouTube or on Twitch. Saku gets them up on YouTube. He's a pro. Yeah, Ufric went like 10-1 on the season. Yeah, or maybe I think it was him. It was him or Valdis who did it. But anyways, we have one more match. And yeah, we're not spotlighting Wild this season, but I couldn't resist but putting a Wild standard team on as my pick. I hope Bone Masher's here because I think he is. I'm picking the Aussie Pro Mafia versus Popeye's Spicy Chicken Sandwich because I absolutely love this team. The pro team for Bone Masher. I know every single one of these players. Got Bone Masher sitting in the 1 versus Honest Zabe. We've got Quakelord in the 2 versus Mick. Got Maxie Bon at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 3 versus Mianodon. Reverb versus Wet Goose in the 4. And then we've got Oddlaw versus GM Lambie series or Lammy series in the 5. So Quake, I've been told that Quakelord has beaten Mick 3-2. So congrats to Quakelord. Quakelord has been one of my inspirations as a Wild player. He's helped me a ton. I'm very happy to see him get a win here. I love Mick as well. Mick's a really good player, very nice person. But that's a close match. So their APM's up 4-2. So we've got Bone Masher versus Zabe. I will give the edge to Zabe. Zabe's been doing this a very long time. He's a very good player. Maxie versus Mianodon. Gee, that's a close one. I'm actually gonna give it to Maxie. And then 4 seed, I'll give to Wet Goose over Reverb, and I will say GM Lambie series taking it in the 5 over Oddlaw. So it'll be 3-2 for Popeyes, with Maxie and Quake getting wins.
It is it is great to see Maxie Bone play in THL. Such a young great player in Wild,
Yeah.
and I really hope they do well in Pro as well. But I'm sorry, what is Bone Masher doing here? You get back in your 3 seed in Legacy, dude.
I mean, yeah, see, the thing is that the seeding here. I didn't.
Sorry.
I mean, I didn't give any. I gave the edge to Maxie in the 3. I would have probably picked Quake in the 2 as well. Partially out of loyalties, but partially because I know he's a top he's a top 10 Wild player across multiple servers in Wild, and that generally translates. And he's also a really good arena player. He knows his stuff. I'm not I'm not as familiar with Reverb. But I know Oddlaw is really good. I actually lost to Oddlaw, subbed in and lost to Oddlaw 3-2, in Wild last season. But unfortunately he's going up against Lambie Series, who's a really, really good player, and Wet Goose is also a very, very good standard player. But I like this matchup a lot. In general, it could go either way. In some cases potentially.
My one question is whether Lambie Series will, being a GM, being extremely good player, I wonder if Lambie Series will have the time to devote to THL or not.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
for sure. I think like being a GM and having your lineups for GMs kind of be available, like it does force you to. In some cases, it will force you to have to like change up your lineups for THL. But I mean, we've seen other GM players be successful while playing Grandmasters in THL, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. It is interesting though to have both the players from THL go to GMs and then have the people from GMs come to THL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a weird effect right there.
it's cool.
Actually,
Yeah, we had one GM leave and another one join, and then we had McBannerface, who's still playing THL, become a Grandmaster, who I'm very happy for. Cool.
we got McBannerface, we got Eggo
Kalis
Waffle,
Luna.
I believe.
Yeah, Eggo Waffle has
And
played in
Kalis Luna.
THL and Kalis Luna.
Yep.
So
we've got 3 representatives now in GM.
Mhm.
But again, unlike Rami, and again, no disrespect to Rami, but these guys started off in THL before they hit they made it to GM. So to me, it's like pretty awesome.
yeah, I am excited. I actually get to team with Rami this season. So I'm excited. And Eddie played in THL as well. So yeah, Eddie, who got carried by Diamond in Tespa. We always like to note that.
Language hacker.
Monsanto hacker. Yeah, no, a lot of people have played. I mean, it's really great to see the level of competition that we get to see.
Yeah, technically, Eddie is the first player to play in THL and then become a GM. But there was such a large discrepancy of time between when he was playing in THL compared to when he actually became a GM.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's like what's kind of weird about it. Like a lot of people who play in THL now probably weren't around when he was actually playing in THL at the time.
I definitely was.
Right, I was, but I've also been playing in THL for 4 years now. So make of that what you will.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, I guess we'll give our last thoughts on this before we head to closing. On the match, we can keep going.
There's so many strong teams.
Mm-hmm.
Pro is gonna be nuts as usual, but that's like saying water is wet.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like that's just kind of how it goes with Pro. We got some ridiculous shenanigans ahead of us.
Yes.
Yeah, it just means you're going to see a lot of very exciting matches. Are there any exciting matches slotted up?
Yes. In fact, I have a couple of nights of known matches. So transition back to our screen. Hello, everybody. So in closing, we have matches that are starting tomorrow night, 9 p.m. We have a Legacy Silver Conference match, Donde of the Hot Zilfs versus Truth AM of Redfish. So that's gonna be an exciting one. That's gonna be casted by myself and Mojo Powell. We are looking available to take an 8 p.m. or a 10 p.m. I would only like to do one of the 2 slots, but if we can get both, that's also fine. We can always do that. So message me if you are playing tomorrow night at either of those times, and we'll slot you in. We have Friday night fights. We have a full slate starting at 8 p.m. Always Just in Time versus Hickett. Team Justin versus Bluefish. 9 p.m. we have Battlegrounds lobby. We're gonna have our BGs coming back. We're gonna have our first lobby. I'm not 100% sure who will be casting those. My guess is it could be Saku and Gordon, but I'm not 100% confident or sure about that. 10 p.m. though, we go back to Legacy, go to the Silver Conference this time. And that's gonna be Mojo Powell of the Wallet Warriors versus Lefty 2111 of Dirty Mike and the boys. So very exciting to see that. That's a really good matchup. Two very 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 strong 5 seeds. So Salty Saturday, I have not heard anything there. Lotus Knight and we'll be organizing that, and Wild 9 will be your op for the year, or for this season, I should say. So hopefully that'll be run really well with Lotus and Wild 9 at the helm. Schoolstone, we have a Wild match. And not just any Wild match, we have our Wild EU series. Our first ever Europe server series. Wild Rabobson of F2L Celadon versus the Rotted Zombie of Team USA #1. I love it.
I love to say that.
A bunch of America's servers players. A bunch of players from the US, and I don't know if any of them are from Canada or not, but if they say USA #1, assume that's where they're all from. So that's Otter's team. Otters, Rod, and a couple other players playing on the EU server, because a lot of the players in Wild, they do crossover between the servers. And that's going to be casted by myself and Jailstorm. I do not have anything for Sunday Schoolstone or for Sunday Showdown, besides I know that Battlegrounds will be at 9 p.m. At the same time, but on Sunday night as well. So if you want to play Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, or Saturday night, hit up myself, Saku, or Lotus Knight, and we will get you, and we will direct you to the person that you need to talk to get your match on stream. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. We're actually doing a bit of a different format this season for match streams, where we're gonna be encouraging players to potentially play on stream with their cameras on, with the webcams on for their matches.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing it a bit more like the GMs or the Masters Tours would do. Maybe it's more Masters Tour. Not most that familiar with the GM layout. But nonetheless, I'm very excited for this season of matches. There's a lot of very, very strong players in every series. I don't think there's no weak series anymore. It is all very, 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 very competitive. And so yeah, that's gonna do it for this week. Week 1's in the books.
I mean, the only thing I have left to say is Skittles wanted predictions. I mean, I don't have the utmost faith in myself, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping our match isn't too one-sided. That's really what I want the most, I would say. So fingers crossed.
Yep.
Yeah, please keep us updated on that.
Oh boy. We'll brace yourself.
All right.
Brace yourself.
Yeah. So.
But this has been a fun show. It's great to be back, of course. I'm excited to see what the new season holds, and hoping my team has at least one successful run. Or one of my two teams has a successful run.
Oh, I hope so as well. For sure. I was maybe not as heartbroken as you were about IDK, but I was definitely pulling for you guys the entire season. I will continue to pull for your team. So I believe that I want the best for all of our teams except for when we're playing each other. So
yeah, there you go.
Let's get it, everybody. We'll be back next week with another episode of Tavern Talk. Same time, same place, same night. So
same level of shenanigans.
Oh yeah. So that's gonna do it. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to my co-hosts, as always. And you got the best for all your teams except Wild. Oh wow. Okay, I see how you think about your team. So yeah, we'll see you all next week, and specifically us three. But tomorrow night will be Thursday Throwdown, so I will see you then. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your night,
Hells yeah.
everybody.
Take care, guys.
Yep. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.